Hello friends, good morning all of you, and let's start. So in previous class we people have finished about group discussion, so that was unit number 2, and yesterday I think that there was unit test also. So let me know how was test. Was it okay? Is it audible?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I expect that it was fine. So in today's class we are going to begin with another unit, and that unit is unit number 3, personal interview. So I will share the screen. You people just check if it is visible, as well as I think that voice is also audible. So let's continue. So think about the next 2 to 3 years, what you will be, where you will be, what you will be doing. So these should be the questions in your mind that you are thinking right now. So you might be learning, studying regularly, and you are happy with your marks, whatever you are doing it. But let's think about when you complete your third year or when you are in final year. So this is the thing, this is the procedure that you people have to follow, that you people have to go through. And let's try to understand these interview techniques, because if you are just thinking about this, I'm sure that you will try to keep more information about that. I know all we people are curious, eager, interested about our jobs, about our interviews, about our, let's say, career. Okay. And so what happens that most of the students, they just stay relaxed within their first year, second year, third year, and when they are in final year, so that time they become very nervous. There is anxiety, there is worry, there's a lot of tension, they are not prepared, and so many problems that they have to face regarding their interviews are concerned. So one thing you people have to keep in your mind, nobody is going to allow you a job as it is. So without any procedure, without any let's say interview, nobody is going to allow you. And whatever you may be thinking that my friend is there, my relative is there, whatever it may be, but your selection will be purely on basis of your skills, knowledge, and techniques. So therefore you people just try to work on these things. So though you are in first year, but still you people have to think that what you can do for these things. Already we people have done with earlier topic, that was group discussion. So I hope that you people might be started working on these things. You might be started making some groups of your friends, or maybe you people are going to just discuss something. So let me know, are you doing something? Reply me. What do people do for improving your English? Ah, or you're not doing anything. It can be, possibilities are there. You're not doing anything. No reply. I hope that it is audible first thing. So what I've told you, that you people can make groups of 5 to 6 students, which will be preferably your classmates. And if they are from second year, third year, that will be okay. But you have to come together every day for 10 to 15 minutes, and you people are going to discuss some things, or let's say gossips. Let's say everything that we discuss when we meet or when we call our friends. What do we ask them? So simple things, what they have done, what they have not done, what they have bought, and let's say likes and dislikes, and so many things that people share with each other, feelings, opinions, and so many things we ask and we tell also. So then same things you people have to do, but only thing that you people have to follow, this is you people have to continue this in English, and that is not difficult at all. You people can do it. Initially you may feel it difficult, but that is not difficult at all. You can express your thoughts and ideas and feelings in English as well. Okay. So let's continue about this interview techniques. So what are the challenges that you think that are when you're thinking of interview? Which thoughts come in your mind when you think of interview? Is there anything that you would like to express when you think of interview? Which thoughts come in your mind? So do you think that interview is only for those who are very clever, smart, bright students, and they only get job? Is it like this? Or anybody can face interview and can get selected? What is your opinion?
I think, sir, anybody can face interview.
Yes, that is what I would like to tell you people, because many students believe that those who are getting 90% marks, those who are clever in studies, only these people can face interviews good and they get job. It is not like that. So why it is not like that? Because this is a skill. Interview is a skill. And when we can achieve a skill, when we can get a skill, when we can become master in a skill, only,
Practice.
yes, you're right, Saurabh. Only practice makes men perfect. Okay. So here what is required if you wanted to face interview, it should not be like that you have not faced anything. You have not faced any situation earlier in your first year, second year, third year. You're not doing anything and directly you're facing your final interview. In that case, the possibilities of getting selected are very less. You may get selected, but possibility is very less. But see, if you're practicing it in your first year, you are just looking, you are taking help of Google, YouTube, you are taking help of teachers, and you are just working on your interview techniques and skills. So you are just learning how to introduce yourself. You're learning which questions are frequently asked questions. You're practicing them. So if this question comes, then what should be answered? You're thinking, you're preparing your own answers, you're learning your strengths, you're learning your weaknesses. And let's say you are practicing this interview, mock interviews, let's say every month you're trying something new and you're adding some knowledge. You are just trying to answer how I can answer it in different way. And when you're going to face your final interview, I'm sure that you will feel a lot of confident and you can answer each and every question which is asked to you. You can show your attitude, you can show your knowledge, your skills, everything that is clear to you. Because whatever you have done earlier, that has made you, let's say, confident. And that in the form of skill, you will perform well in your final interview as well. And there will be no fear, pressure, anxiety, worry, tension. This is the problem when students want to face interview. This is the problem of student. And why this problem arises? Because they have never thought of their communication. They have never participated into discussion. They have never faced any mock interview. And because of this, when it is final interview, that time such fear, pressure, anxiety affects their performance and they could not perform well. But in case of we people, we should not let it happen with us. So what we are going to do? We are going to do a lot of practice. We are going to take a lot of information. And in fact, we are going to start it in English. Interview that you people have to answer, that should be in English. So major problem is of English communication that we are going to overcome within these 2 to 3 years, where you people are getting, I will say, a lot of free time. Not free time, but as second year, third year, you are about to complete. So that much time you can utilize for working on your skills, working on your, let's say, English, working on knowing more tips about group discussions, knowing techniques of interview, what should be done, what should not be done, do's and don'ts of interview, that you people can learn within these 2 years, and you can just perform well in your final interview. And remember, this is not part of only professional communication. This is not part of syllabus. Try to understand. If you're thinking this is only for syllabus, and anyhow you are attending this class, and maybe you are trying ISC unit test, something like this, and then you are just skipping it, or then you are going to forget it, then it will be again difficult. So you should not forget that my interview will be there anyhow, whatever it may be going to happen. But at some time, let's say maybe in your final year, when you'll have completed your graduation, so that time you are going to face this interview. So this is part of your professional life. So nobody can escape this. Nobody can run away from this. Rather than it will be very convenient and easy for you people as early as you are just going to face it. So let's say today only you are going to face interviews. Let's say tomorrow you are going to go through some questions, important questions which are asked in interview. You're thinking a lot of about your interview, what questions, what topics, what field that you people have chosen, and probable answers that you are just always every day you're looking some techniques and tips about interview. I'm sure that you will do perform well. You can do best in your interview because you've taken a lot of efforts, and when there are efforts, I'm sure that there is success also, and your success will be again, I will say, short-term success, short-term goal, I will say, when you'll get selected into the dream company or dream job that you're looking for. So everybody has to think about your own dream company and dream job. So in fact, sometimes questions are asked in interview, what is your dream job? So you should know what is my dream job. So try to define your dream job, what will be it will be like and where it will be. Then you people are going to continue with this interview techniques. So let me know, is everything okay? Voice and visibility is okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then with this, we people will go to the next slide, and throughout our presentation, what things we people will be looking. So first of all, we'll try to understand what is interview. Okay, so try to understand. This is just for our information. Okay, then types of interview. So this is just, we will try to know more about interview, but try to understand that nowhere nobody is going to ask you such questions. Tell me definition of interview. What are types of interview? So such questions are in exam only. So we are not preparing these things from the point of exam, but we are going to prepare it from the point of professionalism. We are going to prepare it from the sake of getting a job, how we can do it better in interview, how we can do it better in let's say group discussion or such other techniques like resumes and other things. So this will be just for our information, but we have to more focus on this preparation phase. So how we can prepare better for interviews, and from which sides, which let's say fronts that we people have to prepare for interviews. So that we people will try to discuss. Then performance during and after interviews, that is also very important. When there is interview, you need to prepare, but this preparation is in three phases. So which three phases? First of all, you have to think of before interview. So before interview, so what preparation you people are expected to do, that I will say prior to interview. Then another is during interview, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. And then there is third stage, this is after interview. So these three preparation stages, we people will just look what we can do better as far as we people are going to prepare. Then here you will get some tips also. That tips will help you to perform well in your interviews in these three stages. Then we people have some do's and don'ts. So some things that you have to follow, some things that you people have to avoid during interview or after interview, before interview. These things you people have to understand. And next we people will talk about some interview questions, or rather than we'll call it FAQs. So what are FAQs? FAQs means what? Frequently asked.
Frequently asked questions.
Yes, frequently asked questions. In interview, in each and every interview, there are certain questions which are there definitely. So if you prepare at least this frequently asked questions, I'm sure that your 70% interview is going to be covered in this frequently asked questions. So what will be remaining 30%? There might be some unexpected questions. They might be check you in a different angle, perspective, or they wanted to just know that how much you know technically, something like that will be in 30%. But if you prepare for this frequently asked questions, then I'm sure that you'll feel a lot of confidence as you're going to prepare. But try to again understand that all these questions will just give you an idea only. You should not read from somewhere. If you go to the internet and if you find frequently asked questions, you're going to get answers also. But you shouldn't read such answers. You don't prepare answers which are there, which are given on the internet. Rather than you people have to find out your own answers. You can get clue, you can get ideas, you can get hints from that ready-made answers. But you shouldn't tell somebody that any answer which you have read on the internet and you're telling same as yours, because it is going to be different. What you have your own strengths, it cannot be of other people. So sometimes you're telling some strength that you have read on the internet, you are telling weaknesses which you have read on the internet, that may bring you in trouble or that may bring you in difficulty. So try to bring your own personality in this while answering in the interview. And there is another term that we people are going to discuss it in the last unit, that will be SWOT analysis or SWOC analysis is there, that you people have to do of your own. We'll discuss it in last unit, that SWOC analysis. That matters. You have to be original. You shouldn't be the copy of someone else. Your answer shouldn't be copy of someone else or ready-made answers from the internet. So people try to understand. If it is the question, what are your strengths? So people need to find out which really strengths I possess. What are the weaknesses, my weaknesses that you are going to find out. So these things are important. And then last one is your important job sites, but you don't pay attention, or I will not recommend these job sites, because all you people concentrate on campus recruitment only. Don't think of such sites, because these sites are sometimes they may ask you money also. If they say register with us and pay 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, or there are some consultancies that they ask you that will place you in well company, and in return you have to give us first salary. So I will say, I will recommend, don't pay a single rupee to anybody for getting selected into any of the companies. Okay, so nobody is going to be victim of such kind of cases where you are paying money for the sake of registration, for the sake of anything. You are not asked to pay a single rupee. If any company is there, let's say ABC company is there, and they wanted to recruit you people, they will not ask you pay money. So nobody is going to pay a single rupee for the sake of getting into process, getting into let's say interview or group discussion, or for any purpose. You are not going to pay any kind of money for these people. So if you are going to apply off campus, so what I mean by off campus, if you are not going to apply through college, that will be off campus. So in that case, these websites will be useful, but again, be cautious, be careful that they're not going to charge you any money. So that will be our presentation, entire presentation about personal interview that we are going to through. So we'll go to the next slide with this, and we people will try to begin with this interview. So tell me, what is interview? What do you know of interview? And another question, why interviews are conducted? Answer me. You have to tell your own answers. What is interview and why interview is conducted?
To check the ability.
Okay, to check the ability. That is why interview is conducted. Answer is to check the ability. Then what is interview? First answer, what is interview for you?
It is the discussion between any two members.
Yes, you're right. It's the discussion between any two members, but these two members should be like one, let's say employer, and another should be candidate. Okay, one is employer and another is candidate, or let's say employer and employee. I hope that it is clear to you. Employer, who is employer and who is employee? Employer is one
Who take interview?
who takes interview, or who is the owner of the company, let's say, or who is the, let's say, interviewer. So this is employer, and employee is the person who,
Giving interview.
yes, giving interview, who wants to work with that company, that will be employee. So that has to be clear, because sometimes it gets creates confusion, employer and employee. So who is employer and who is employee, and there could be confusion. That has to be clear. So you people replied rightly that there is a discussion. Let's say interview is a kind of discussion. Okay, so you shouldn't take it too much stress, anxiety, fear, nervousness, because many students feel when there is interview, that time they feel that what is going to happen, and they are into tension that which questions will be asked. If I'm not able to answer, then my English is very weak. So you don't think such things. My grammar is not good. These questions will affect your performance. In fact, what you are going to present, what the, let's say, skills and knowledge that you are going to show, that content is going to matter. And this grammar, or let's say your everything, that matters a little bit. It is not that you shouldn't be exact or accuracy and fluency, but you should not pay much attention to such things. If there are minor mistakes of grammar, of let's say there are minor mistakes of like, vocabulary can be here and there, but entirely you are just candidate, you are fresher, you are learning. So with experience, you can overcome those problems, so they can understand it. So try to bring accuracy, but focus more on how you can present it in a better way, how you can communicate it in a better way. So in interview, if you're trying to tell one answer, and if the answer is understood by the next person, that is okay. Okay, but you have to work on those things as well. So let's try to understand. Interview is a meeting of minimum two. And who are these two? One is expert and another is candidate. So these two persons, they come together for a specific purpose, and there is a need for both. It is not like that only experts are in need, or it is not like that only candidate wants to get a job. So there is need from both ends. They also are in the need of one candidate who is better, and let's say here the candidate is also in search of good job. So in that case it may happen. Otherwise, if the candidate is in such a position that I don't have any need, if I get selected, okay, if I don't get selected, okay, in that case it is not going to happen, or this interview is going to be affected. Or if the expert or the interviewer is in impression that we don't have any requirement, but let's say if the candidate is there, let's take his interview, in that case he's not going to select you. So there should be need from both ends, then only that is going to happen smoothly. Then why interview is conducted, why interview is organized? It is arranged to examine the suitability of the candidate. So this is important. So let's say there is one post, and for that post, everybody wants to work. Let's say there are 100 candidates who wanted to work as a junior engineer. Okay. There are 100 candidates who want to work as a junior engineer, but let's say there are vacancies, only 10 vacancies. So out of this 100, they wanted to check the suitability of the candidates who can work as a junior engineer. So how to check their suitability? They can check through this interview. They will ask you certain questions, and the way you're answering, from that they will judge you, they will judge your personality, and they will decide who will be those 10 candidates out of 100 who are getting selected in this particular interview. Okay, so therefore this interview is very, very important from the point of view that they are going to judge you, they are going to check your suitability, they are going to check your abilities, and they check your ability since you enter into the cabin. Let's say if you're waiting outside the interview room, so your checking or your evaluation, your assessment starts from the way you are knocking, the way you're knocking on the door. That has to be again professional. It should not be like that you are knocking your friend's house, your neighbor's house, or you're using your palm to knock. You shouldn't use your palm, rather than you have to use your finger to just knock the door, so that these interviews they will look at you, and then you are going to ask them, may come in, sir. So the way you are going to say, may come in, sir, how politely you are asking them. Then the way you are walking into the interview room, then there you're waiting until they ask you to sit down. When you are sitting down, then you're just thanking them, and then the process is going to start. So your behavior, your appearance, your, let's say, everything, the way you're talking, your gesture, your posture, everything is evaluated, everything is judged, whatever your things are carrying, and the appearance, everything. So you have to be very careful about your body language and appearance and everything that we are going to discuss in next slide also. So they check your suitability, whether you are suitable, your right candidate for this post. They want you to check. Then tested for subject knowledge, skills, and desired behavior in a very limited time. So here also we'll come to know in interview what they look for. They look for your subject knowledge. So what do you mean by subject knowledge? Let's say your particular branch, you may be from civil, you may be from electrical, you may be from CSC, maybe from electronics or mechanical. You should have some basic knowledge of your branch. Okay, it is very important that you should have some basic knowledge. So what do you mean by basic knowledge? Because throughout these 4 years, you're going to 8 semesters, and in 8 semester, let's say each semester is going to have at least 5 subjects. So almost you people are going to learn 40 subjects. Let's say this is an average. Okay, so out of these 40 subjects, you should have minimum idea, at least basic concepts, that what is particularly comes in. Let's say if it is mechanical engineering, so what is mechanical engineering all about, that you should know. So that is basic knowledge you people have to acquire. Apart from that basic knowledge, there are certain skills. Okay, so which skills? I will talk here about technical skills. Okay, so what are technical skills? So let's say if again we are talking of mechanical engineering, there are certain, let's say, softwares, CATIA, or if it is civil engineering, there is CAD Pro, or some short-term courses are there which offer you that you can handle some, let's say, machines or some procedures, etc. So these technical skills you should acquire. You try to learn, you try to be master of such skills which are technical skills. And apart from that, there are some soft skills also. So in skills, I will mention 2 types of skills. One is technical skills and another is soft skills that you people have to think of. So technical skills you can be mastered by practicing them on the different tools and machines that you are going to use it. But soft skills are part of, again, your professional life, like let's say motivation, decision making, leadership qualities, teamwork, problem solving attitude, conflict resolution, and communication skills. So these are part of your soft skills. So people have to think of that also. So this way you are going to be tested. Your knowledge will be checked about your subject knowledge, skills, both skills, technical skills as well as soft skills, and desired behavior. Now this is also very important. What is desired behavior? I just told you that how you are behaving there, what you are showing them, your attitude. If your attitude is not, let's say, positive, or you are just behaving in such a way that I know everything attitude, that is going to make your impression negative. So you have to be polite, courteous, cooperative, helpful, these things. In fact, we all are like this, but if you fail to show them that you're cooperative, let's say you are helpful, you are just kind, you're modest, humble, that has to be shown through your behavior. Okay, so desired behavior also these people will look, and if they feel that this particular candidate is suitable, he is having certain skills, knowledge, and good behavior, then they will think that you'll be just qualified in this interview round, and you'll get final offer letter that you will be selected in that company. Then again, you people have to understand that this is in limited time. So how long usually interview may long? How long it will be continued? Any guess? Roughly, yes.
10 to 15 minutes.
Yes, 10 to 15 minutes. Roughly, we will just categorize it 15 to 30 minutes. So that will be enough time because whatever you people have learned from your first standard up to graduation, it is not possible to test everything within that 15 to 30 minutes. Okay. So your interview is going to last based on the way you are answering them. If you're just answering in a such a way and let's say you're answering it nicely, then in that case they are again asking you more and more questions, and if you're just answering each and every question, they're going to ask you more questions. So this way it is going to last for, let's say, 30 minutes. But see that if they're asking you certain questions and you're not able to answer, at some cases it may happen that 1, 2, 3 questions they're asking you and you're not able to answer, let's say 3 questions, 4 questions. So there your time of interview is going to be reduced. It may last for 10 minutes also, it may last for 5 minutes also. So they're asking you your introduction, 1 or 2 questions, and then if they ask you some questions and you're not able to answer them, if consecutively you're not able to answer 2, 3 questions, in that case your interview is going to end at that time only. So you have to be very prepared and ready for questions so that in limited time, in a short time, you're going to show them a lot that how you are curious and ready to work, how professional, how good you are at anything like subject knowledge skills and your behavior. Then of course it will be good for you people to be involved in interview and you can be part of that next process of job. Okay, so with this, let's go to the next slide. I hope that you'll understand that interview, what interview is, how is it conducted, why is it conducted, and what they're expecting. So subject knowledge, skills, and behavior that you people might have understood. So is it clear? Any question?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Then we people will go to the next slide, and on next slide, we people will try to learn few types of interview. Okay, so it is not necessary to know, it is not necessary that what are the types, not necessary types that you have people have to know, but this is just for knowledge that we people are trying to know. So first of all, panel interview. So I hope that you might have heard about the interviews which are conducted by MPSCs and UPSCs. So these type of interviews are called panel interviews. So how is the sitting arrangement of panel interview? So usually there is a panel from that side. So it may be a semicircular. So there are minimum three, maximum can be 4, 5 also. They are panels. Panel means they are experts. They're sitting from one side of this table. And let's say at the center of the room, here the candidate is going to be sitting, and then these all experts, they can ask the questions to the candidate. So all candidates are going to ask the questions. So the interviews for the post of IAS, IPS, IFS, these are the posts of responsibility and where you people have to take decisions. A lot of responsibilities are associated, concerned. So therefore such interviews are called, such interviews are conducted with panel interviews. Okay, because they wanted to check your decision making ability, they wanted to check how much knowledge you have, how you're thinking and everything. So panel interviews are for such posts where you are getting higher post and a lot of responsibilities and you have to take decisions. In companies also, if you're going to have interview of, let's say, manager, CEO, MD, or any let's say managerial post, so for that post the interview will be panel interview. But let's say as freshers, nobody is going to conduct your interview like panel interview, so you need not to worry about panel interview. But you can just think that if you're preparing for MPSC, UPSC exams, in that case you have to be ready for such panel interviews also. where a lot of questions and you should have a lot of rate. I mean, you should be in position to answer. Your thought process should be very clear when you are going to face such panel interviews. So 3 or more experts sit across table from the candidate and they ask questions to the candidate. The next is your face-to-face interviews. So what do you mean by face-to-face interviews? Face-to-face interview is interview like one-to-one interview. So here is one interviewer and here is another interviewee. So interviewer and interviewee are also similar concepts like employer and employee. So employer is the person who is giving job, employee is the person who is seeking job. So interviewer is the person who is asking questions, interviewee is the person who is answering questions. So they're face-to-face, one interviewer and one candidate. This way the interview goes on. So people are expected to have such kind of interview, one-to-one interview. So this kind of interview is, it is not informal, this is formal, but as compared with panel interview, this is informal in nature. Then there is less distance between interviewer and candidate. You might be face to face because you're sitting next to table only, but here in case of panel, you are sitting at the center of hall or room, and then there are panels and they're asking you some questions. Less stressful. So if you compare panel interview and face-to-face interview, face-to-face interview is less stressful. It is less relaxed also. It is relaxed also because face-to-face you are intense, so there'll be a lot of pressure on you. But in face-to-face you are relaxed. Our environment is relaxed compared to panel interview. So out of these two types, there are other types also. People can search on the internet. Additionally, there could be another situation also where group discussions are there. So what are group discussion? In group discussions, there is one interviewer. Okay, let's say this is interviewer and there are more candidates. Let's say that at one time, the one interview is taking candidates of minimum 3 candidates or 4 candidates. They are facing interview. That is called group discussion. So in such, you people again, you get a lot of relaxedness here because you people are answering in turns. If first candidate answers, then there are 2, 3, and let's say other candidates who have to answer questions, and then your turn is going to come again. So this is relaxed way of interview. So sometimes group interviews are also conducted if there are a lot of candidates, or if there are let's say the post that the company which is conducting. So based on the post which you are going to apply, the interview type will be decided. But mostly you people have to ready for this face-to-face interviews. Okay, so with this, we people will go to the next slide, and on next slide, we people will try to understand what you should do before interview. Okay, so prior interview. So prior means before interview, what you should have done, what you should prepare. So it says, read your CV or application and skills demanded. So what is CV here? Tell me if you know. What is CV? Do you know? So there are 3 terms: biodata, resume, CV. So CV means curriculum vitae. So sometimes you may take them similarly, but they are not exact same. Okay, they have difference. They are not same, exactly same, but they are different. So biodata means mere your personal information about where do you live and your address, your contact number, your personal information. All those things will be in biodata. Okay, but in a resume, people are going to add other skills and knowledge also. Like let's say your first of all, your name is there, your contact details are there. Then apart from that, you're providing their academic qualification, that from which university, in which year you have completed your graduation, with which class, first class, second class, something like this, from where you have completed your HSC, SSC. Then you are giving details of some trainings and courses that you people have completed, your activities, co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities that you are mentioning. Then apart from that, you are mentioning some of your technical skills and your personal information, everything you are adding, hobbies and something like this. And at the end, there is declaration. So this is called resume. Okay. And why resume is required? Because you cannot give interview without resume. So resume is the part of your, again, professional life. All you people have to prepare your resume. Okay. So maybe right now you people are not having any idea how to prepare your resume, but we'll try to, because in next unit, people are going to learn about preparing resumes as well. So there people will try to make one common format that you people can follow. But later on, you people have to learn the professional different ways that you can prepare your resumes and you people can make it impressive. Why they should be impressive? Why resume is important? Because before your resume reaches to the interviewer, and your resume creates impression of you. So if you have done a nice resume, it will create positive impression. And say that somehow you have prepared your resume and there are a lot of mistakes and information is not up to date and there is no sequence and some mistakes are there, grammar and spelling mistakes are there. So what will be impression of you as you're going to face interview? Before you're going to start your interview, they will have opinion that you're not up to date, your grammar is not good, and you have so many mistakes in your resume is not up to date. This opinion impression is there already in their mind because that created your resume. And on the other hand, if your resume is up to date, they'll think that at least his resume is very good, all the necessary information is there. So it means that candidate seems good, and from that thinking, they will start asking you questions. So your resume creates impression of you. It may be positive, it may be negative. Based on your resume, there is going to be opinion. So you people think how you can create better resumes. So it says before interview, read your CV, that is curriculum vitae. But as a student, you people are not going to have resume. CV. You are going to have resumes. And what is CV then? CV is if you are having a lot of experience. Let's say you are working in this field, let's say 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. So in that case, you have filled a lot of posts, responsible posts, you have worked in different organizations and you have some research experience, something like that. So that time it becomes your curriculum vitae, that is CV. So as a student, you are not going to have your CV, but it will be a resume and not biodata also. Okay. So read it carefully, and sometimes you people have application letter also. So what is application letter? Job application letter. So as a college placement, you are not required to write down job application letter. But if you are going to apply off campus, so that time you are expected to write down job application letter also. So that job application letter is also called covering letter. So covering letter means job application letter. So if you're writing any job application letter, the people have to read it carefully. Then next, you people have to understand skills demanded. Okay. So here you people have to understand which skills are expected for this post. Which skills they have given it. If it is, let's say advertisement, if you have read an advertisement in the newspaper, in that newspaper, in that ad, it is given that which post and which skills are required, what kind of experience is required. If you read this information, then you'll come to know that with such skills and such information, you can appear for the interview that you people can think of. So you should know which skills are required. And another term is that I think job profile. So job profile means what? What kind of skills are required and what kind of person is required? That says job skills or job description. Sometimes it is said job profile, or sometimes it is called job description. So you try to know for which post, for what skills, what knowledge is required, that you should know. And accordingly, you are reading your resume well and job application letter well. Then let's go to the next point, that you people have to ensure that know the company. So what do you mean by know the company? Know the company means that you people should know maximum information. I will say maximum information. But in fact, you people have to do research on the company in which you are going to just give your interview. So let me know how many of you know the names of some company. So people are expected to send me names of company into chat box, or you can unmute and tell me. So which companies you know in your field, if you have chosen your particular branch, so in that branch, which companies names you know, and what is their production or service, that do people try to tell me. So if people think popular companies, renowned companies, and try to tell me its names. Which companies do you know? At least 4 to 5 names I just want to get from you.
IBM, Tata,
IBM is there, Tata is there,
Infosys,
Infosys is there,
Wipro,
Wipro is there,
Amazon,
Amazon is there,
Mahindra,
Mahindra,
Yahoo,
Arjun,
Flip.
Hero Honda,
Hero Honda, okay,
Flipkart,
Apple,
Yahoo,
Flipkart,
Jio,
other
Google.
reports.
Jio, Google,
Bajaj,
Bajaj,
Tesla,
Tesla, yes,
Adobe,
yes, Hanabi. So you people, at least you people are getting information about the company. So let's think of such a companies where you like to work. So I mean that suppose that you are thinking of Google. So you wanted to be part of Google. Let's say. So Google is the company, and if I wanted to work with Google, what should I have to do? Or where am I right now? How is their recruitment process? How employees are selected? And if I have to work with Google, which skills I have to improve on? Or let's say IBM, let's say as you people have mentioned, Mahindra and Bajaj and Tata and all those names of the company, Infosys, Wipro is there. So it is very important that you people are thinking of such companies where you people are looking yourself in next 2 to 3 years. So that's why I have told you, think of your dream company that you people will be working in next 2 to 3 years. So you should know the company. So if you're telling me the names of the company, then you people have to just try to find out maximum information about the company. Why? Because usually, again, there is one common question which is asked in the company, in the interview, sorry. And this common question is like this. What do you know about the company? So this is the question which is asked in interview. This is frequently asked question. This is common question. At that time, you will be able to answer if you have found or searched some of the information in your own way. And otherwise, if you are simply just going to the interview, but you didn't know any information of the company, at that time, they will simply reject you because you are not searched anything. You didn't have any kind of idea about the company. In that case, it is going to be rejected. So how we can get maximum information? Then there is next point, and this next point says, go to the website of the company. There you can get all necessary information about the company. Okay. And you have to collect a lot of information from the website. Try to do your own research. Very short term, short concept. Do your own research. You have to search maximum about that company from the website, from any other sources also, and try to maximum. So information like this, when that company started, establishment year, who started this company, then who is the governing body or management body of the company, who is CEO, who is MD, and where are their offices, where are their branches, that you people try to find out. In at national level, at international level, you're trying to find information about that. then which are their products and services that they have launched, any recent product, any recent service that they have launched. So such kind of information that you people will get if you visit to the website of the company, and that you people have to keep the information ready for such things. Then another way to know the company is this, that annual reports. That you people have to read annual reports of the company. So how much they are in profit, what are their policies, what are their decisions that they have taken in their annual meetings. So that information will come to know about their annual reports that you people have to read. Then any news which is published about the company in business newspapers, or any particular award or reward that company has received, if any article is published in magazines, that you people try to find out. And there is another way that you people can get information about the company. This is directly contact the employees. So let's say if you are looking a job in Infosys. So in that case, if your friend is already working in Infosys, you can contact your friend. It can be your friend, it can be your neighbor, it can be your relative, it can be anyone who is of your acquaintance. You can contact him or her and try to ask more information about the company. How are their working hours, about their work culture, work ethics, and the support that they provide to the employees, something like that. You people can have a lot of discussion about the company through the employees also. So this way, you people try to collect a lot of information. First of all, you prepare on your resume and application letter, then try to work on the company in which you are going to apply. Try to collect all the information that you people are looking about the company through website, through reports, through newspaper, magazines, and any employee who is already working in that company. Through this, you people will feel confident that yes, I know a lot of about this company, and definitely I will be getting selected in this company. Or you'll be able to answer, what do you know about our company? Here you can totally justify answer of this question, because you know a lot of things about the company through the different sources, and you will answer this question rightly. Okay, so today we will stop here only. This time is up. We will confirm absent numbers and we will stop here. So let me know if roll number 5 is not there. 9,
Yes, sir.
14, 16, 14, 16, 19, 21, 25, 29,
Hello, sir. 14.
14. Okay. 34, 49, 67 and 68. Okay, so once again, confirm absent numbers. 5, 16, 19, 21, 29, 25, 34, 49, 67 and 68. Okay, so with this, should we stop here? Should I end this meeting from my side? Should I end this meeting from my side?
Yes.
Yes, sir.